Welcome back, everybody, to your three-man booth. NFL Week 11. I'm Dan Salem with Phil and Bud. We're once again live during Thursday Night Football, where it's another shit football game. The Patriots have already won, and the game's not over. Last week was full of crazy blowouts. It seems that every time I do piss poor, Phil does piss poor, my brother Todd and BuzzChomp does piss poor, Bud just blows away his picks. He had 2-0 last week, so the standings are really even now on the season. Which is,
I went 2-0 last week.
You did. You crushed it. Yep.
Nice.
Good week for you.
Nice.
So let's jump right into our picks here for Week 11.
As we were talking pre-show here, I had something in mind, and then I talked myself into a different game. And I'm going to take Indianapolis +7 against Buffalo. That's a big number. And Buffalo is, we know that they're pretty good. Are they 7 points better than the Colts, who have arguably one of the best offensive lines in football, and Jonathan Taylor, who's putting up 150 yards of scrimmage all-purpose yards every week? I don't know, but I'll take the 7 points. And to no one's surprise, I'm taking the Browns at a bounce-back game against Detroit. I'll lay the 11.5. I'll lay 14.5. They're going to beat the crap out of Detroit.
Yeah, that game against Pittsburgh last week.
And full disclosure, I did pick Pittsburgh last week, but as we did the show, Ben was still playing. If Ben had not been playing, I would not have made that pick. But that's okay. I'll take my loss, man.
We got to talk about the Antonio Brown news, see if that helps your Giants against the Buccaneers this week.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right, but who you got for Week 11?
I'm taking Dallas over Kansas City. I think that Dallas is just a more well-rounded football team,
and they're getting points too, which is sad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get that. I mean, Kansas City did win this weekend, but I think
that's why. It's because they won by so much, so everyone thinks they're back.
Yeah, I'm not sold on that just quite yet.
I unfortunately agree with you on that pick too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna need a big game from Dak to beat Phil in fantasy this week. So I'm gonna pick
a big matchup.
Big matchup. I'm gonna go Dallas there, and I'm gonna stick with tradition, and I'm gonna pick Miami over the Jets because the Jets are a dumpster fire. They are a terrible football team, a terrible organization.
Hey, until proven otherwise, Flacco is elite.
Wait. We'll get back to that. Make your picks first, because I want to ask him a question about that.
Okay. So yeah, you're giving up 3 with the Dolphins. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I got.
I'm piggybacking on your Cowboys pick. They're getting points against the Chiefs. Dallas has a better offense and a better defense. I'm going to pick the better team and take the points. That's a pretty solid pick in my mind. My other pick is with the Arizona Cardinals. They're one of the best teams in the NFC. They're giving up, I think, 2.5 against like a nobody team, in my opinion. And it's Seattle. I mean, Seattle is going to be one of the worst teams in the league by the end of the season. Yay, Jets for another solid move and get a good pick out of it. But they're not going to hang with the Cardinals. I don't care who plays quarterback. That team's too good, well-rounded, and they're not giving up very much. We must dive right into Joe Flacco, who got the job and the nod over Mike White and an injured Zach Wilson, apparently, for this game against Miami. Bud's mesmerized by the Patriots steamrolling Atlanta.
It's not even steamroll. It's that Atlanta can just not do anything offensively.
What happened to that team? They were really putting up points to start the year. Like the first month and a half, they were hot.
They can't score anything. I mean, I guess the question is the Falcons are not great, but are the Patriots for real?
Yeah, their defense might legitimately be this good, right? Like,
not only that, this game is just a brutal game to watch. I mean, it's like watching paint dry. But
has Mac Jones thrown an interception though, like all season?
Yeah, he just threw an interception a couple minutes ago, but he looks great.
Well, I think it's a lot on Josh McDaniels. He runs a tremendous system. I mean, to Jones's credit, he picked it up real fast.
Yeah.
So we have to ask, why is Joe Flacco starting?
It's a great question, Phil.
Well, we want you to answer that.
Yeah, you answer first. I told Phil my thoughts pre-show, and I'll reiterate them. But you weigh in with your opinions.
Sure, I'll give you my honest, because the Jets don't have a goddamn clue what they're doing. Here's what the Jets are. Ready? It's the same circus, just different monkeys.
I don't agree with you. I saw a great meme where it was Rex Ryan and what's his face, Mark Sanchez, and it's like you don't know the good old days are gone until they're gone.
Rex Ryan had a quote the other day. It says, "Don't compare me to this coaching staff right now. He was
Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
Man, that was just uncalled for.
I just don't listen. Mike White didn't play great. Buffalo's defense is the number one defense in the league. Why would you go? Why would you even go? The only thing that I can think of is that they just don't want Mike White to succeed because
That's exactly what you said.
I'll tell you, they were presented this opportunity on a silver platter. White had a bad game. They do not want him to dominate the Dolphins and have a controversy when Wilson's ready next week.
Bingo.
So
Only thing I can think of.
Flacco might dominate the Dolphins, but they could easily remove the old fart. I mean, that's no big deal. No one's going to bat an eyelash. So,
right.
There's no controversy.
That's incredible. You guys are on the exact same page.
Yeah.
I mean, but to me, there is no other reason.
No,
I mean they're gonna blame it on the Mike White's forearm injury. Is probably what they're gonna blame it on.
No, that's crap. Because you know what, he's clearly not injured enough to not be the backup.
Right. Well, here's the thing. He had a great first game as a starter and a rookie style game as his second game. He really should be playing because he gives us the best chance to win. But how much you want to bet? Flacco goes out injured within the first quarter. Mike White comes back in and dominates the game. And then we have the controversy anyhow. That's classic.
I just don't get it. By the way, Joe Flacco played Miami last year and he got steamrolled.
So my feeling is Mike White had really high stock. And his stock cooled. Why don't you let his stock build back up and you could at worst trade the guy for something valuable because he has high stock? Or you
because they don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I know. They're avoiding the controversy. They don't want to undermine Wilson and Wilson's return. I think that they have the opportunity to beat Miami, but not so much with Flacco. I don't know.
But the other thing that I could think of is like this coaching staff is so desperate for a win. They're trying to find, but I just don't understand why you would go to a 36-year-old quarterback who, by the way, just got here.
The blowouts seem to be happening a lot this week, or not even this week and last week, but just over.
And except for the 16-16 tie with Pittsburgh and the Lions, I think every single game was a blowout.
Did you see the field goal kicker? Did you see him kick that field goal that he shanked?
I didn't.
Oh, it was so it looked, you, me, and Bud could have kicked a better field goal than that.
I don't doubt it.
It looked like high school.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I mean, it came right off his foot, wide right. I mean, it had no air underneath it. It was awful. I was actually rooting for Detroit to win that game, but
maybe he had some money on the game and missed.
Although Detroit is undefeated in November, they had their bye week and a tie.
Oh, good for them.
True.
Good for them.
Yeah, well, there's a ton of they're not going to go 0-17 memes because they have the tie.
You're right. They will not be the first team in history to go 0-17.
Now, Bud, are we rooting for the Jets to win? I mean, there's a lot of season left, but they also don't gain a lot by winning a couple extra games, just like last year.
No, I don't think that they gain anything. However, the next 4 games are 100% winnable. I don't think they're going to win. I think that what we're seeing is a completely dysfunctional team. Like I hate saying this, but I think I've said this once to you guys, maybe in private, but not on here. They look worse than they did last year, which is even somewhat hard to imagine because they were so bad last year. They were trying to lose last year, and they look better than they do right now. The defense is awful. I don't know if I've ever seen a Jets defense that has been this bad. They've given up 40 plus points in 4 of the last 5 games, and they can't stop anybody.
But I'm going to disagree with you on one point. I don't really feel like this team is dysfunctional. Last year's team felt totally dysfunctional. Like the offense was at odds with the defense. The coaching staff wasn't talking to the players or even talking to themselves, let alone the media. This team has each other's backs. They're going through a ton of growing pains. I mean, they've had 2 impressive wins and a lot of really, really ugly losses. It really hurts. I mean, you can't win games with 1 interception on the season. It's just not going to happen.
Nope.
That's all they have?
Yeah, 1.
Yep.
Well, I picked up Elijah Moore in fantasy because I assumed Mike White would be quarterback, and I don't know if I like it so much with Joe Flacco now.
I mean, every old guy's going to have a bounce back game once in a while. I don't know if this is his.
Well, I hope that he dumps it off to Mike harder because I traded Mike Evans for him in a last fantasy deal, as Phil likes to say.
That was a poor decision.
No, Michael Carter gets a ton of touches now. So here's the thing with Mike Evans. If all those receivers in Tampa are healthy, they spread the ball around to everybody.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it's all about Tom Brady. I mean, we said he was going to hit a winter swoon. This team has hit their swoon, and all the fantasy numbers have taken a hit because of it. I don't know.
I hope their swoon continues because they got the Giants on Monday night.
Yeah, and then you said Barkley's coming back. Antonio Brown might be kicked off the team for lying about his vaccination status, which is good news for the Giants.
And Godwin's always hurt. Gronk always practice, but
and Galladay's back, right? Too. Galladay's back 100%.
It sounds like they're going to have the full complement of players, but we'll see.
So, where's your confidence level at?
You mean for this week or the rest of the year?
No, just this week, just with Tampa Bay.
Well, going in, you have to assume they're probably going to lose the game. They're 10.5-point underdogs, but.
Well, I mean, so the Giants are coming off a bye. Generally, you have 2 weeks to prepare for a team who has been playing significantly worse football the last 3 weeks. Now, neither team's really injured, but this is the Monday night game. Now, Daniel Jones has never won a game in primetime, so he's due. I mean, nobody goes winless in primetime. He's due for a victory.
When we get to Monday, I'll take the 10.5 points. I think that's just too many points, but maybe I'll be wrong and they'll get their asses blown off. But
the Giants don't get blown out too much. But
you're right, they don't. That is true. But after Kansas City beat the crap out of the Raiders, it almost makes that win not as impressive as it was 2 weeks ago. It's been piecemeal the whole time. It feels like.
Here's what you do: you watch what Washington did to Tampa Bay last weekend.
Well, they got Tom Brady, which we all know. We all know that's how you stop him.
So the Giants' defense needs to finally show up. I mean, that's the reality of it.
Yeah, you're right.
Tampa Bay can't run the football, so if they can slow down Brady, then that game is theirs.
I would rush 3 or 4 all game and just drop everybody else back.
Yeah, Leonard Williams.
Let Leonard Fournette beat you. He's not going to.
Almost what everyone was doing in Kansas City. Tampa Bay is not that juggernaut we kind of felt they were going to be, and the juggernaut that we thought they were in the first 4 weeks. So, is it a winnable game? Maybe, but you're right. Look what Washington did. Washington also lost Chase Young like halfway through that game too, by the way.
All right, so the Giants have a maybe winnable game. The Jets definitely have a maybe winnable game. I don't think they're both going to win, but hopefully at least one of them pulls off a victory. The Patriots are still winning this game, right?
This is over.
16-0. The cameraman is even yawning.
Oh yeah,
the cameraman just got hit in the face with the field goal.
Oh, is that what happened?
Nick Folk, baby. Nick Folk, the highest scoring player of the game.
Is that who's kicking for the Patriots now?
Nick Folk? No, Nick Folk, ex-Jet. They always steal our players. They always steal our guys.
Unbelievable.